Hi there, Helen Wilkie back with another episode of your 5-minute author notes. Today I'm going back to speak about another one of those reasons that people don't write their books, obstacles that people put in the way of becoming authors. This is something that people don't always say, but very often they're thinking. And sometimes they actually say it. And somebody said it to me not too long ago, and that is, who am I to write a book? Who am I to call myself an author? Well, if that's what you're thinking, listen up. You are considering writing a book on an area in which you have at least some degree of expertise. Maybe it's a business book, maybe it's a how-to book teaching people how to do something, and maybe it's nothing to do with business, maybe it's about a hobby that you have. Maybe you are an expert at fishing and you've developed some little techniques that make it so that you catch more fish than anybody else, or you can find fish where people think there are no fish. That's valuable information to other fishing people. And so there's no reason why you can't actually sit down and help people by putting that information on paper or in a digital format. In other words, putting it in a book. If you have information like that, then that's who you are to write a book. You have to change your mindset about this. It's a form of inferiority complex, and you have to get rid of it. And I grappled with this early in my speaking and writing career, and I was helped out of it by a good friend who's also a speaker. And we were talking about sending news releases out in order to get interviewed for newspapers and television and so forth. Now, this was before the days of podcasts. So it was a little intimidating. And I remember saying to my friend, oh, I don't know, why should I don't think I've really got anything to say about this. And she said to me, Helen, don't be ridiculous. I said, what do you mean? And she said, you stand up and you speak to audiences on this subject, and the people in the audience make notes of what you're saying because they didn't know it before, and they need to know it, they want to know it, and that's why they're sitting in the seats. When it comes to you and your book, somebody has bought your book and is spending the time reading it because you have information that they don't have and that they want. And that's who you are to write your book. If you put it that way and you think about having information that's useful and valuable to other people, then you could say not only do you have a right to write a book, but you have a duty to write a book and to spread the word and give other people the benefit of your expertise. So if you've been thinking, who am I to write a book? Turn your thinking around. Think about what you know and then remind yourself that that's who you are. And here's another little tip that you might use just to cement this idea in your mind. Next time you sit down to write, to begin to do something on your book, use this affirmation. Say to yourself, I am an expert in whatever it is, and it is my right and duty to write a book so that I can share my expertise. And then write it. And I'll see you next week.